Hello, my gorgeous Pisces friends. I am really, really excited to sit here with you as we journey into a new year and a new exploration of who we all are. And I don't say that just because it's a calendar new year, because I try to not set so much stock on the calendar and the way we measure time in our society. It's useful sometimes, but also we can get really in our heads about how we use that time. But because we're really changing some energies around here, including the fact that I'm so excited for Jupiter being in Pisces this year. Jupiter just moved into Pisces on December 28th. So we are fresh in this transit, and I am so excited for Jupiter to be here with you, Pisceans. Jupiter is one of my favorite energies. Pisces is one of my favorite energies. And when these two come together, I feel like this is so a vibe that I like to be a part of, because Jupiter being here with you, this is what I'm going to say. There's so much going on this month and I'm going to get into it, but I just wanted to address Jupiter right out of the gate because I think it's so important. Jupiter in Pisces. Okay, so this is like kind of a big expander spotlight with you. Jupiter is a very benefic planet who wants to expand and see what happens. Very adventurous, and was actually your original ruler before Neptune came into the mix. So this is a very natural fit for you. You're going to feel that this transit's very much in flow with certain aspects of what it means to be Piscean. It's going to expand that watery, intuitive knowing, deep connection, giving, healing, being compassionate. It expands all of that for all of us. And then specifically for you, when Jupiter is in your sign, this is a year of huge growth. And it's a very exciting time. Like, I think it's Jupiter being in your sign. Some of the most amazing things can happen in a year with that. But you grow really fast. So what I want to say, just to prepare you, is, get rest when you need rest. Take care of your Piscean energy system. We really want to do that. A lot of people are going to give you advice with Jupiter in your sign to take every opportunity and really just go full on pedal to the metal. I do not give that advice. What you want to do with Jupiter is expand the things that you really want to expand, that you really want to follow. So be discerning with what feels right for you, and trust your Piscean self, right? Like, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to play every role. You don't have to wear every costume. No. So also don't think of Jupiter and Pisces as this exhausting transit you're going to have to go through forever in life. But it is a powerful one. Things do tend to move and shift and shake when it's in your sign. And for all of us, this is just going to be a very healthy, positive transit. So I'm super excited to bring that news to you. Two cards wanted to come out, Knight of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Our good old friend, the Seven of Swords. We're going to cover that lesson a lot in this life. I feel like the Seven of Swords lessons are forgetting human selves. But that's not all that's going on. That's definitely a big energetic shift. But of course, this month is also, we have Capricorn season going on here. We got the sun in Capricorn, a new moon in Capricorn, Venus doing her big retrograde in Capricorn. And later this month, we're also going to have Mercury beginning a retrograde in Aquarius that then moves back into Capricorn. There's a ton of energy here in Capricorn. And for you Pisceans, this is going to have so much to do with community and friendship, amplifying that, reviewing that, connecting in with that, noticing what you want to take with you, where you are longing maybe for more community and friendship, or maybe where you're wanting to make adjustments. I know that both Venus and Mercury retrograde have a reputation. Like, when you hear those transits, it's kind of like, oh no. Does that mean that this month is going to be bad relationships and bad communication? And no. What it is going to mean is we're reviewing what we want to bring forward with us. Four of Wands, love it. We are reviewing what is nourishing us, what we want to move forward into this new year with, and getting really, really clear about what that means for each of us. And I think sometimes culturally, we're kind of taught to dread these times of introspection because the value system is often on our output and how we're striving and what the next step is. And one of the things with Jupiter and Pisces, I think that will be emphasized for all of us is that time doesn't work in that linear A, B, C, D, E, F, G, step one, step two, expansion all the time way. It works much more circularly, much more mysteriously, much more personally than that. And so Venus and Mercury retrograde are both also reminders that time does not work in this nice, tidy, well, my value is what I am able to put out into the world. It's my output. It's my mechanization, right? So this season in general, January in general, really challenges our concept of like, this is a new year. I'm setting my intentions. I'm going to have all this support, all these goals, and I'm going to make myself do all this stuff. Six of Swords. No. January just does not have that feeling at all. So we can just put all those usual New Year's energies to the side. Leave them there forever. How about that? So it is a spiritual month in so many ways because we're getting used to Jupiter and Pisces, because Venus is doing her rebirth cycle during her retrograde, because Mercury retrograde is helping us to reflect and review, all of this and because the North Node is moving into Taurus. Have I even mentioned that the North Node, which has been in Gemini for a year and a half, is moving into Taurus this month, and the South Node is moving into Scorpio, changing all the energies. And that North Node shift is going to be really, really, really nice for Pisceans as well, very in flow as a sextile. I'm pulling a final card from my Animal Totem Tarot, 9 of Cups and the butterfly. Beautiful. Let's talk through these cards and this exciting month. Okay, we've got two things going on for Pisces. It's all fire and air, despite us being a water sign community here. And it's really back and forth, right? Fire, air. And these are cards of movement. These are cards of things moving, shifting, and happening. These are definitely not cards of sitting still. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be running yourself to the bone in January, doing everything. I think these cards represent an energetic change and feel to what's going on. And for you, there's this playful, creative energy that's showing up right away with the Knight of Wands. And Jupiter's with you, right? Like, we're on the beginning of a huge, fun, playful adventure here with Jupiter in your sign. Truly. I really mean that. And Knight of Wands is such a playful energy. A lot of times he shows up and people think of him as kind of the guy that shows up and disappears, or the person that you start dating and then they just like ghost and disappear. And I know, I just feel like I have to keep addressing the Venus retrograde BS because it's just everywhere. And yes, sometimes that can happen. But if that's what is happening, that person needs to go. Bye-bye. Venus retrograde is going to intensify and deepen anything that's serving you. Anything that's not working, that isn't meant for you, is leaving. But the Knight of Wands represents something so much cooler and deeper and more fun than that, which is getting in there and trying things out, right? We can plot, we can daydream, we can pretend, you say we're going to do it sometime down the line, but the Knight of Wands represents that energy that we do when we just put some paint on the page and we just splash on that empty canvas instead of waiting for us to be perfect to go and do the thing. So the message right out of the gate is, if you have something that you have been longing to create, play with, do, it doesn't need to just be a professional thing. It can be just a creative project you think would be beautiful. Or maybe it is something that you want to share with the world and you want to start putting out there. Just start. You don't need to be perfect. There is no such thing as that. What are we waiting for? And that's actually where Seven of Swords comes in, because I often talk about the Seven of Swords as the imposter syndrome card. It's the guy who feels like he can't just be himself and right straight up in front of people be like, yeah, I paint and it's amazing. He's gonna do things secretly and like maybe secretly paint in the back of his house when no one else is home, and then put all the paints away when people are around and like never say, and lead a double life because it feels like you're not allowed to just up front be like, yeah, I love doing all these different creative things, or yeah, I love doing this other project that nobody knows me for. So in embracing this free-spirited Knight of Wands, you're going to be asked to let go of these weird rules that you might have around yourself and around when you're allowed to start an adventure, or when you're allowed to start a creative project, or when you're allowed to share your beauty and your curiosity. And that's a challenge. It is a challenge, but it's really, really a worthwhile, beautiful one. You also have a really interesting combo going on here, because we have the Four of Wands, which is about commitment. This is kind of, this card actually really represents like a wedding ceremony, basically. It doesn't have to be a wedding, but it's that kind of culminating process, celebration, connective moment where something comes full circle and we commit to it, right? We really are clear that we are committing on this path. This is a beautiful celebratory card though. And I absolutely think that January could have some amazing celebrations. And what I noticed with the Four of Wands here for you all is that you may be making some new commitments. Maybe it's a commitment to that creative project that you decided to start up, or a commitment to a person, or a commitment to a trajectory, right? A place, a job, whatever it is. And with that means that you are leaving behind something else, right? You have to leave behind maybe something that was familiar, or something that you kind of knew how it worked. And I think with the Six of Wands, an important thing to keep in mind here is that this is about leaving behind something that isn't for you anymore, right? Like it just doesn't quite fit, and there's a bittersweetness to it because you know you're ready to leave. And yet maybe at another time that shoreline that you're leaving was something that was very meaningful to you and very safe for you. So there's this interesting thing going on where on the one hand, Pisces, yeah, it's a year of playful adventure ahead for you. Trying things out, living in bright color, letting your Piscean self be your Piscean self, and seeing where that takes you. And with that also comes leaving behind habits that undercut you, or that keep you kind of sticking with things that don't serve you. And you're going to be finding that as you start to let those colors play on the page for you, either literally or figuratively, that you will have to face where it is that you keep yourself small, keep yourself hidden, or keep yourself kind of locked into an old pattern that you just can't anymore. So there's just growth inherent in these cards. And then we have Nine of Cups, the butterfly in this deck. The Nine of Cups is such a beautiful card. It's almost hard to give it a description because it is about this sense of emotional fullness and beauty and warmth that in some ways is so straightforward, and yet is the thing that we're all seeking and looking for in this human life all the time, seeking and looking for and trying to remember over and over again. And for me, like with the Nine of Cups in this deck, it's the butterfly who's emerged right from the cocoon and has come to understand their growth and their beauty. And I think that's such a beautiful representation of 2022, because there is a sense of grace and healing that I think will be much stronger than we have felt in a little while. And for you, Pisces, this is a year to really let yourself play, go enjoy, move forward on those things that are calling to your heart. Truly. I have a few well wishes to send you for the beginning of 2022. So curious about this year. I just cannot wait to see. It's gonna make me emotional, but I cannot wait to see what we all learn and do. I guarantee you there are going to be some big, deep emotions for each and every one of us, but I could guarantee that for every single year, anytime, any place. So here are the wishes I'm sending your way. May this be a year of deep healing and joy. May the beauty of Pisces energy radiate out around the world and join us together. May this be a time of friendship, community, love, and amazing partnership. May this year allow you to walk your path in peace. Walking our paths in peace and joy. It sounds so cliche, and yet, isn't that really deep down what we're all longing for? So let's have it, Pisces. Let's do it. I am going to go a lot deeper on Jupiter and Pisces. We're going to keep coming back to that on Patreon because I am so excited about it, as well as covering these the North Node and South Node changes in the moon. I really can't get into the technicalities of that on a reading. It's just too much to cover, as well as all sorts of adventures we're going to be having with transits and explorations this year. So I'd love to see you on Patreon, where I can really offer that extra support. You can find me on Instagram, and there are a lot of impersonators for all healers out there. It's just like a good heads up that if you follow a lot of different like healers and readers and people, there are a lot of impersonators messaging people and stuff. So there's just the one at Vrba. I'll leave the handle so you know the real one, and report those that are trying to impersonate me. That would be awesome. You can also find me on my website and my email. So I'll leave all the ways to get in touch with me below. I'm sending you guys so much love. I will see you on the other side as we head towards Pisces season, because by the time we get to January, it's going to be Aquarius season, which means we are prepping for Pisces season. And you know I love a good Pisces season. I'll see you all very, very soon. Have a gorgeous beginning to 2022.